Greening Australia's had over 20 years experience in river restoration programs, and along with working here in Gunns Plains on the Leven, we've worked in the Derwent catchment, and the Leven River is going to be the initial project that we sort of work from the head of the river down to the mouth of the river, in completing the whole length.
The biggest problem we've got with rivers in Tasmania is sedimentation. If you take away the bush from the side of the river bank, all the soil tends to flow into the river, the banks collapse, you've got the rain coming down through the hills, there's nothing to filter the dirt out, and so it all ends up in the river. The river gets clogged with sediment, the water quality becomes much poorer, and so all of a sudden you've gone from having a river with a nice rocky bottom, plenty of animals, to a river that's covered in sediment and not many animals left at all.
Greening Australia has been working along this river for a number of years, about 10, 12 years now, and during that time, in the last 5 years, we've been monitoring using the Tasmanian River Condition Index.
The Leven is, as you've probably heard throughout this, is a priority catchment, has been identified because of its diverse values, land use values.
We're here today trying to do a demonstration to show people of how to manage willows along streams around Tasmania, taking into consideration, wildlife, native plants, and bank stabilisation and that sort of thing.
Well, Gunns Plains is a broad expanse. It's a big floodplain. Because of that, there's a whole mosaic of plants can be planted. So we've got everything from the wet areas right close to the river up to the dry banks. And the main workhorse in the Gunns Plains area is the woolly tea tree, Leptospermum lignigrum. So you need everything from the tall trees to the sedges to provide the whole habitat. They all work together to provide shade, shelter, nutrients, leaf litter, all the sort of things, and they grow together well.
Especially with the river running through the middle of most of our properties, that we've got to do something about this river, because with erosion and these willow trees and putting the native trees back in, it'll help itself. We won't have to help it. So Greening Australia comes along, you've got to jump on board and go flat out.